Who told you? Who told you? Who told you? Who told you? You what? God design, God design. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Boerboel Show. Thank you for joining. Sorry we're running a little bit behind schedule. We're a little behind, but we're right on time. I'm your host, Jordan Pittman. Welcome to the Boerboel Show, where we discuss this magnificent breed that we love and cherish and feel is the best breed in the whole wide world of all the dogs. We are dog lovers and we love all dogs, but we love the Boerboel the most because we feel that they're the best. What's going on with my people? How's everybody doing this afternoon, this evening, this a little chilly? We reporting to you live from the belly of the beast. I'm your host, as I said before, and today we're going. What's going on, Mr. Hobbs? Today we got a good episode, a really special episode. I felt that we always talk about the breed. Well, let's talk about the people that's behind the breed, and I wanted to discuss with you guys, with everyone today, about why we chose the Boerboel breed to use it. Is it a breed? If you're thinking about considering, is it a dog for you? Is it really the dog for you? And what is a good reason to get involved with this breed? What do they have so much to offer? Why we love them? A lot of people looking at dogs, breeding dogs, especially post-pandemic. What's happening, family? Monroe. And we want to discuss with you guys. Is this we want to help people make the right decision? Is this the breed for you? Is this the right dog? Even is dog ownership for you? And then we're gonna take it a step further and take it to, do I want to be a dog breeder? And but especially now, post-pandemic, you got a lot of the pandemic birthed a lot of new dog owners and a lot of dog breeders. And because of that, now that the aura or the newness has kind of wavered in the excitement of being a dog owner for the first time, is the work that's involved. We see a lot of dogs ending up right back where they started, in the shelter. Got a lot of breeders that's having puppies and they sitting on this and they deciding that, maybe this ain't for me. And from the very beginning, I came into the breed. I seen a lot of breeders come and go. I saw a lot of people that started off with this idea that they was getting ready to make hundreds of thousands of dollars, and they ended up deciding, after they was involved with the breed for a couple of years, it's not as easy as it looks. It's not as easy as it seems. And like a lot of things in life, nothing is worthwhile that's going to be easy. It's going to be a lot of work. And are you prepared for the hardships? Are you prepared to overcome the obstacles that's going to be involved with dog ownership? And the idea behind this episode, what we like to do is we want to prevent dogs from ending up in shelters. We want to prevent unnecessary burden on the dogs. At the end of the day, our goal is to become healthier and happier with our dogs. Healthier, happier, because the dogs bring us great therapy. Healthier because of all of the physical requirements that's associated with dog ownership. So let me start with me, myself. First question that you want to ask yourself is, can I survive? Will I be all right? Is my life complete with or without a dog? That's something that you're going to consider before you get involved with any breed of dog. You want to make sure that your heart is really there, because dog is a living creature that involves, that they take time, they take effort, they take money, they take resources. It's something, dog ownership is just a great responsibility. The dog is looking up to you. The dog is going to be depending on you for everything, to provide all of its needs. And you are the sum total of the dog's existence. Without us, the dogs would not be here. So me personally, I am a dog lover, and I love all dogs, and I can find value in any dogs. And reason I chose to talk about this because I have people saying, present to me, hey, well, what do you think about this dog? You know, what you think about getting into the Frenchies? Or what do you think about getting into the alibis or the Kangaus? What's going on? What's up, John? Thanks for coming in, man. So I chose the Boerboel breed because of the companionship factor. Like I said before, I grew up with a dog. His name was Bear. And if you could catch this on my episode, some of my previous episodes about my boy Bear, he was a Golden Retriever Chow Chow mix, and he was a neighborhood dog. He went everywhere. He was like the people's champ, everybody's best friend. And owning Bear was like having another small sibling. I always wanted to have another brother, another sister. Bear fulfilled that desire to some degree because I had jurisdiction over the dog. He was my dog. He was my buddy. He was my best friend. So, what is your life complete without the dog? And ever since I was a boy, this dog provided so much companionship and therapy for me. He was there when nobody else was there. And I could always come to him for comfort. He was always happy to see me. I was always in turn happy to see him. And we had this great relationship. We had this great bond and understanding. And because of that feeling, one sad thing about dogs is they don't have the long lifespan that we do. They are not expected to live, most cases, beyond 14 to 14 years. If you get 12 to 14 years out of any dog, then the dog had a pretty good life, and can't expect much more than beyond that. Some people compare it to the way the relationship that the Klingons have with humans. Humans love Klingons, and it's Star Wars. If you're a Star Wars fan, or is that Star Wars? That's Star Trek. But Star Trek, the Klingons and the humans are the same. And humans and the Klingons, they have this relationship, but humans don't live as long, and that's the only drawback, because you're going to have to end up watching the dog in his later days, in his later stages of his life and his existence. Eventually, the dog will pass on, and then you're going to have to continue to move daily without having this warmth and happiness that the dog brings. And so that's something that we have to be prepared to deal with. It's really tough when you lose a dog, if you ever had one that you didn't have for that ended up passing away on you. So is your life going to be complete? That's number one. Can you live without a dog? And me personally, I have to have a dog because I'm a people person to some degree, but for the most part, and this is just my personal experience, the dogs tend to think, they go along with everything that I say. Where people, we have differences in opinions, we have different disagreements, and I love my people also, don't get me wrong. But the dogs, you definitely can trust the dogs and to go for what if you ask the dog, is this a good idea, 9 times out of 10 he's gonna be in agreement with you. And I feel that I could always depend on my dogs. I always have been able to come. I know that the dog is gonna be there for me, and it's a really good feeling. It's a warming feeling for me personally. And then I feel like you got to have a deep love for anything that you're going to be involved with on a day-to-day basis. You don't want it to be something that's painful that you don't want to have to do every day. You don't want to be feeling like dreading the feeling of having to deal with your dog or have to go home and take the dog for a walk, because this is something that you can't put off until tomorrow. They're going to need for you to care for them a day in and day out. So if you can't, this is something that you got to consider before you get any dog. Second, we're gonna go into the Boerboel breed. The Boerboel breed in particular, why I chose them is because, like I said, they very comparable to my golden retriever as far as the temperament. Um, the golden retriever is a very loving dog. It's very companionship oriented. They're good with children. They're good with people that come and visit. They're good with strangers. They got some watchdog and some guard dog capabilities. And because of that, that's loyalty. That's right. And I really feel that betrayal is like the ultimate form of this. Betrayal is wrong. I really I don't like to be betrayed. I don't like to feel misled, and or it's hard to put that into words, the feelings how I have for betrayal, but I'm a very loyal person. So the Boerboel has this great bond, this really strong bond, and they're very intelligent. The Boerboel is very capable. Remember that it's a utility breed. It's the type of dog that is capable of performing any number of tasks. And it's an active dog. It likes to run. It likes to be involved with, like I said before, or if you read the breed standard, or if you know anything about the history of the breed, the Boerboel was designed to accompany the farmer on this variety of tasks, variety of chores for the day. They go side by side with the farmer. Also, I'm a family-oriented person. So I like to have, don't get me wrong when I say I do love people and I love, yeah. What's up with my boy, James? Yeah, exactly. Dogs are family and therapeutic all the way around. They will listen to you regardless. They listen to all your heart or your problems. Somebody to talk to, with something to talk to, or um. But with the Boerboel, it's like they have this. I'm an athletic person, a former athlete. I like to exercise and work out. And as a boy, one of my favorite things to do was like hang out with my dog, and I would ride the bike, and the dog would chase out in front of me. And it was like in the summertime, that was like free air conditioning. And you get this breeze. And every time I do that with my dogs, it takes me back to my childhood. I really enjoy spending time with my family and my people that I love and trust. And the dog is an extension of that. And with the Boerboel breed, they can be trusted to be around people. They can be trusted. Where I also had a Cane Corso, and I told you before, my Cane Corso bit 13 people. Um, we had a couple of situations where the Boerboel had to bite someone or bit someone, maybe twice, in the 17 years of me owning Boerboels. And those people needed to be bit at that time. It was something that they had deserved, or it was something that they were doing that caused for them to get bit. And these are strangers that was, trespassing, attempted to burglarize or theft when they didn't know that the dog was there. The Boerboel offers great protection, and they have this territorial and the defensiveness for their the guard dog capabilities, and versus an offensive. So it's very different than a lot the way that other dogs historically have been used as guard dogs, police dogs, and for dogs for protection. The Boerboel is very defense oriented. They are going to not be so concerned about the person across the street or a person coming in that you welcome into your house. They're not going to pose any threat to them. They're going to be close by your side and get in between you and another person. And then what they're going to do is they're going to do a lot of posturing and positioning to ensure your safety. And because of that, it's the ideal pet. And I don't agree with putting my dog in a cage when we have visitors. People come over to my place. People come to visit my house and my family. They know that we have dogs, so they have to. And then the dogs are part of my family, and they can't do their job to 110% if you have to put them up and they are not able to be out. So when you had to put the dog up, I like the fact about the breed, the Boerboel temperament is really calm, the demeanor. It's not aggressive. It's not a dangerous dog like some dogs can be. Well, they can be dangerous dogs too if you are a threatening person and you got bad intentions, but they don't pose a threat to people that you love, that you welcome into your home. It's not like the dog is going to be at risk, put you at risk. And that's why this breed doesn't face the breed specific legislation like the German Shepherd or like the Pit Bull, like the Rottweiler, or many other protection oriented breeds, because they don't have that history of attacking people and biting people. Even though the Boerboel can bite a person, and when they do intense amount of damage. I mean, you're gonna be maimed. You're gonna never be the same after you get attacked by a Boerboel. And 9 times out of 10, that's something that could easily be avoided if you just play fair and stay in your place. Don't avoid someone else's space. With the Boerboels, they're very intelligent. It's a lot of factors that make the Boerboel fit into my lifestyle. Why I would not get another breed, like for example, just that is, I feel like a lot of people are attracted to the size. So I get this a lot. What do I think about the Kangal? What do I think about the Alibi, which is like the Turkish Central Asian Shepherd? It's a very large dog. It's imposing. It's a very powerful breed. But because I live in the city in an urban environment, I need a dog that is going to be comfortable in the house and not cause me a lot of stress and not cause a lot of a burden on my family. You know, it's not going to be needing to be outside all the time, not needs to have this intense desire to be among animals. The Boerboel wants to be amongst the family, and that's where they most comfortable. When you let the dogs out, they tend to stay close by. Um, a lot of people say, well, yeah, I got a big yard, so the dog is going to have the room to run. And one thing about the breed, this Boerboel does require you to be there. They're not the kind of dog that is going to exercise itself. He's not really concerned or interested in things that's going on outside of the yard, outside of his own territory, outside of his environment. He's more concerned about your safety, and he can't be there. He can't be there for you if you're not around. So when you let the dogs outside, you know, just because you have a big yard, that doesn't necessarily mean that you are equipped to deal with the dog of African Boerboel. One of the things with these African Boerboel is you have to have to be able to have the time. It's a big time. You got to consider the amount of time that you're going to be spending at work and away from home. And with the Western ideology of pet, the Western ideals for pets, the way that we keep dogs in the United States and Western hemisphere in general, Western part of the world or whatever, in cages, you know, it's not an ideal dog for being in the crate. They don't do well when they spend lots of time idle. They need a job to do. They need someone to be with. They need someone to protect. They need somebody to show companionship. All dogs are pack oriented. And when they're left alone to their own devices, remember that this breed is very powerful with a large amount of jaw pressure and strength. So they can really destroy a lot of, they destroy with ease. I mean, a crate once, and I talked to people about this. I said, so you're not at home a lot, huh? I said, and the dog is in the crate. Well, he might be stressed out. I'm surprised that the dog hasn't destroyed the crate, because the typical crate that you can keep your average dog in is no match for African Boerboel. They need to get, if you look at the way that they are kept in South Africa, the land of origin, they have these dogs outside in large pastures, and the dog has got plenty of room to run and stretch his legs out and exercise. versus the American style. How we keep dogs is in small pens, 5x10s. Pens is short for penitentiary, if you ask me. And I think that there's nothing wrong with having that for your dog. Don't get me wrong, but it's not the dog's home. It's not where they should be living at or spending the majority of their time isolated in the pen. What you would like, that's not going to be ideal situation for your dog, especially the way that a lot of people. Thank you. That's right. We'll get to the comments towards the end. Especially if you're going to be spending a lot of time alone, away from home, away from the dog. It really just is not fair to the dog. It's not something that it's not an ideal situation. I had a potential client contact me, and she was interested in getting the dog because she felt that she had a dog already. She's a nurse that she worked at 12 hours shifts, uh, 4 days a week. She had concerns about somebody coming into her house. Somebody had been coming in her house, and the dog that she had which was a pit bull terrier or some type of terrier pit bull, was allowing the person to come in. And I said, well, your problem is not going to be solved. The solution is not to get a bigger dog or a stronger dog or more aggressive dog or capable of performing. The dog is starving for companionship. And that's probably why the dog is just happy to see anybody if he's sitting there in the house, home alone, 12, 14 hours a day. I'm sure you got a little bit of time that it takes for you to commute. So I talked her out of getting the dog into getting a gun. I'm gonna be straight up with her, with you guys. I'm not with my crowd. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's not a weapon. The dog is not going to be able to do its job effectively if you're looking for protection, if you're not there and you're not encouraging the behavior that's desired. If you're looking for your dog to show more protective abilities or instincts, then you're going to kind of draw on its predator and prey, is instinctual desire to chase the prey. And the lady, bless her heart, was sweet as she could be. She understood exactly what I was saying. She said, you know what, you're right, Jordan. I appreciate your time. I don't think that a Boerboel would be right for me because I'm just never home. And I said, really, it's not a good situation for what you have going on with the dog that you have existing. And that's why the dog is just letting this potential intruder into your residence, because the dog is starving for attention, is starving for affection. And you taking an hour, you know 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes both ways to get to back and forth to your house. And what happens is the dog ends up 13 hours idle. And even most breeds are designed to come and serve alongside of us. So your dog, if you're spending that much time alone, and then you get home, you're tired, so you want to get some rest, 8 hours of rest. So you got 20 hours there, and then you probably spend a couple an hour or two getting ready for work, wind down. You're not able to meet this dog's physical requirements for exercise, and everything with the dog follows exercise. That's the number one thing that you need to consider. Am I active enough or involved, outdoorsy type of a person that I'm going to be comfortable with exercising and meet this dog's physical needs, meet this dog's requirements to burn off energy and his natural instinct to migrate. And if you're not able to do that, then just be honest with yourself. No, I don't. You don't need a dog. So, with that understood, let's move forward into breeding. Breeding is not a task that you're going to overtake if you're looking to make a quick flip. So we already discussed the love and the passion that's involved with caring for a dog in general. So multiply that times 10 if you did have a desire or you think that breeding is something that you would like to do. Multiply everything that we just went over with times 10. Do you actually love dogs? Can you live without them? Is your life going to be complete? Are you willing to take care, to devote time and energy beyond your work schedule, after work, after your long day, as 365 days a year to your dog times 10? I mean, if you're not, don't even get involved, especially with the African Boerboel breed, because of the level of intelligence, because of the mindset of this breed. They really thrive on companionship and interaction. And if you're not able to provide that, you're setting yourself up for the dog to have a lot of stress. These dogs are not going to be good under stress, high stress situations. Um, I think that's another reason that we see a lot of breeders bite the dust. And I've seen a lot of breeders bite the dust because they're looking for a quick flip and their heart isn't into it. The passion isn't there. They see the dogs and they think that, okay, it's going to have puppies twice a year and I'll be able to make X amount of dollars off the puppies. But let me tell you something. It took me 17 years to get to this damn place that I am at now. And if I was doing this for money, I'm I got way more money and time invested into the program than what the money that I'm seeing coming out. That's a byproduct of all of the love and the time and affection that I spent invested years and years and years before I was able to make money off the dogs. I put, hundreds of thousands of dollars into my breeding program, hundreds of thousands of dollars into feeding and this time and energy. And it's really not something that you do for money. It's something that you do for the love. You have to have a pursuit for excellence. Because if you don't have the right genetics, and if you're just going to get any kind of dogs or any, and this is really applies to not only African Boerboels, but any breed in general. If you're not willing to do your research, do your homework, find out what are the best dogs and what dogs are worthy of reproducing, then what happens is you don't have the tremendous amount of success. You're going to have a high failure rate. And you have to ask yourself, am I prepared to deal with this amount of failure? It's going to be a lot of hardships before you have success if you're lucky. I mean, if and that's if you're lucky. Even with a lot of research, it's still going to be trials and tribulations that you're going to deal with. Pardon me. But it's going to be a lot. You're going to tend to learn a lot through your experience. You're going to learn a lot the hard way. It's going to be a tremendous amount of failures before you have a great success. And that's with anything in life. And you have to be prepared to deal with that and overcome that. And it's something that you don't just give up on. You got to remember that you owe this to the dogs because the dog's not going to give up on you. And so with that being understood, it's something that you don't, it's something that you really need to strongly consider and think about night and day and night. And when you think about it like that, and you still decide that this is something that I want to do because I absolutely love dogs and I can't live without them, then maybe, and you got the resources and you got the space and you got the time and you got the energy and you're going to do it regardless, and whether you make a penny or a dime, and you're going to do it if it costs you your life savings. You're going to do it if you just because you love dogs, not to fulfill a need for dogs, because it's already enough dogs. It's already enough dogs that don't have homes. It's already enough dogs that don't have homes. And we don't want more Boerboels ending up in the shelter. We don't want the dog to be, because they can be unmanageable. And if you don't spend that time with them, they require this every single day, 365 days a year. And if you're not spending that kind of time with them, then it's not going to work out well for you. And it's going to end up being more of a headache than anything else. So now I think that pretty much covers a lot of what we talked about with the breed. Is this breed for you? If anybody have any questions, I open it up for questions. Sorry I was late coming in, but it's been quite hectic for me. Raising the puppies around the clock, and then I still have to do my regular responsibilities that I have to my family and my myself. Like I said, it's just something that you can't make excuses. You can't afford to really fall sick or get ill. You can't afford. I mean, like I said, 365 days a year, you got to be at this. And so sometimes, it's just not enough hours in the day for you to take care of everything that you need to take care of. So I was a little bit behind for y'all. I apologize for that, but we're coming back again and again and again. We're going to keep on hitting it, and we're going to keep on grinding. We're going to keep on putting out these lives, because this is about the community. We like to see this elevate the bar, set the bar high. We want to see this breed reach its greatest potential, which could be the best dogs in the whole world that anybody ever had. And that's why I choose to breed the Boerboel, because I really believe in this dog as the ultimate family companion. And at the end of the day, safety comes first. I like to leave my house and my home, my family, knowing that they are protected. And the Boerboel gives me that sense of security. And that's the ideal capacity of this dog, is to fit in with the family and fit in with the people and the ones that you love. And when you do it that way, with that type of a mindset, when you approach it with that type of a mindset, you'll have great success. So with that being said, we get to these comments. We're gonna start here at this is Florida Dad. Thank you very much. At 6 months old, can't wait to see more of that beautiful female that you have. We've been sharing her sisters. We got some progress reports on those dogs at 6 months old. Please, man, send me some pictures and some videos so I can post that baby up, so we can see what the expectation was versus what we predicted. Because I thought that was an outstanding breeding. That really was one of my um, breeds that I highly anticipated for myself. And we talk about those Afeni Balto puppies. Appreciate the comment. We got Rob Monroe, 100. Always, man. Thank you for the support. John 100, thank you for the support. James Murray. Let's see. For me, fam, dogs are therapy on all levels that will listen to you regardless. They eager to please. That's what I love. I found that Mako listens, and when he shows, he gives that board me that Boerboel stare. Right, yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, though. That's what I'm saying. It's their therapy on all levels. Their companionship. They listen. They want to please you, and they want to make you happy. They want to provide that companionship. They want to provide affection. And with the way that the world is today, it's not enough of that going around that we're going to expect to be reasonably and genuine from people. And the dogs provide that for us, and it brings like-minded people together. That's one of the things that I love about it. Is my people that is feel the same way about their dogs. That's one thing that we all have in common. It's like we can't get enough love and loyalty and support. And we always trying to pump each other up and to do better. And that's the type of people that I like to be involved with, and that's the type of people that I like to be associate myself with, my family. And the dogs bring us together. And that's one of the truly the biggest benefits of being a breeder, is it puts you in touch with so many like-minded individuals that want to be the best owners and want to have the best dogs. And for me, at the end of the day, that's what being an exotic Boerboel familia is all about. We all have a common goal, and that's just really want to just be the best that we can be and get better every single day. So I appreciate that, James. That loyalty. That's right. Loyalty. Because some gonna betray you, not the dog though. So I appreciate everybody for joining. That's gonna wrap. I'm gonna wrap it up for today's episode, because I still got a lot of work to do. I gotta bottle feed the puppies around the clock. So I got a warm up meal for them. Got a lot of cleaning up to do. I want to keep the area sanitary. I gotta take mom. I just took mom for a walk. But I want to take her for a little bit of walk, a longer walk, and play some ball with her and let the dogs hang out together. and keep her stress levels down and keep her mood high. So I don't have it, but I do am committed to my exotic Boerboel familia, the ones that is existing in potential, and the ones in the past, and everybody that is thinking about these dogs as a companion, as a pet, as an extended member of their family. And we want to just let you know we're here for y'all. I hope that this episode and every episode in the past is you is able to walk away with something more than you came with. And with that being said, it's always a great day for a walk to walk the dog. That's rain, sleet, or slime, sheet of sunshine, or snow. And that's whether it's 70 degrees, 100 degrees, or 20 below. You got to get out there with your dogs on a day-to-day basis. And if you're not willing to do that, if you don't feel like that's something that you can do, then you really might not want to get a dog for you. A dog is not for you. If you're not willing to get out there in the rain, sun, sleet, shine, or snow, when it's 100 degrees or 20 below, then this might not be. You can send me the pictures. Send them to my phone, family. Send them to my phone, Tim. Send y'all pictures and videos. Send me more pictures. Let's really highlight what this breed has to offer. Exotic Boerboel familia Boerboel owners are the best. And let's highlight this. Let's highlight the breed in its greatest potential and show them at their greatest capacity inside of people's homes, doing what they do, living a good life, and healthy and happy. And for that, y'all, I'm very excited. I really appreciate y'all giving me this time. We if it's anything, y'all got ideas, if you got concerns, you got questions, you got some things that you want to talk about, y'all got my number 216-244-2088. For information about the breed, you can always visit our website, boerboelpuppy.com. And with that being said, y'all enjoy the rest of y'all evening. Enjoy the rest of y'all week. Have a happy weekend. I'll catch up with y'all on the next episode. Don't forget to tune in. We're going to be going live with the puppies, sharing some tips and stuff off the top of my head.
No rush, go on, move dumb. Back and forth, push and shove. Make your peace and love turn to peace and gloves. Now you got a deal run up. No rush, go on, move dumb. Back and forth, push and shove. Make your peace and love turn to peace and now you got a deal run up.